So our speaker today is Arnold Spiker. He's got 34 years in the education field, math teacher, athletic director, head coach, assistant principal, and principal. He has 11 years working for Peoria Public Schools, 6 years as an assistant principal at Peoria High, and currently in his 5th year as principal at Woodruff Career and Technical Center. Arnold?
No, I don't think I need to step stool. Thank you everybody for having me today. I greatly appreciate it. I invited my boss here today, so Dr. Coleman is my boss. She's here today, and if you see her filming me, please tell her to stop. As they said, this is my 34th year in education, 11th year in Peoria. I really enjoy, I never really wanted to be a principal. Let's start there. That's the reason why I invited my boss today, because she's the one that kind of convinced me that being a principal is worth it. She told me I'd be very good at Woodruff, and she was right, as usual. I really love Woodruff. When I first got there, they had a shirt, and on the back shirt said, "Best kept secret in Peoria." So let me ask you guys a question. How do you actually know about Woodruff Career and Technical Center and what it does? All right, good, then I've done my job. Over the last 5 years, my goal was to no longer be the best kept secret. We still want to be the best, we just don't want to be a secret. So I've spent 5 years talking in Rotary clubs, speaking in women's luncheons. I actually sent Dr. Coleman to a women's luncheon for me earlier this year to talk. My goal was make sure everyone got the opportunity to know what Woodruff did, what our kids are doing at Woodruff, and what opportunities and options those kids have once they graduate high school. Because that's my goal. My goal, and I've instilled this in my staff, our goal, is the way I should actually phrase that, is to give kids those options and opportunities. Not every kid knows what they want to do when they get out of high school, which is fine. They don't need to know. But if we can help figure out something they might want to do, or maybe even better, something they don't want to do, it will save them time, money, and energy in their future life. People come to our building want to be a nurse. They go do an internship and see blood for the first time. Nope, that's not for me. Good, they learned with us. They don't have to waste that money in college and everything else. So those are the type of things that we are proud of at Woodruff that we do. We serve all 3 high schools. We have kids from Richwoods, Manual, Peoria High. We have kids that come from Knoxville. That's our alternative setting school. Like I said, we take all the kids. The biggest thing is, what are you interested in? What do you want to try and learn? Let us help you. We currently have 14 different career pathways that we work with students. Last year, our students earned over 833 credentials or certifications, which they can put on a resume to help them get noticed. We do mock interviews. We have career coaches. We have teachers that take our students and help them, I don't know the correct word for it, understand the interview process, understand how to present yourself, understand how to dress properly, understand how to address people possibly interviewing you, wanting to hire you for a job. Over the last 5 years, we've had over 300 internships for our students. Our auto body, our work-based learning, and our CNA students, second semester of their senior year, go straight to work. They don't even come on campus. My teachers go out and visit them at work, talk to their employers and stuff like that. We're still mentors at that point. We're no longer their teachers, we're their mentors. Their teachers are now the industry that they're working for. So we go and mentor them and help them be successful in those internships. I'm proud to say over the last 4 years, we just started counting this, we've had over 100 kids get offered full-time jobs right out of our programs. So those are things that's my staff, that's their dedication, their work. I'm just there to help them fulfill their vision for their students. So that's how I view my job. I'm still a coach. That's one of the reasons I put on their head coach. I'm still a coach. I just coach adults now. I don't coach students anymore. In case you guys, a lot of people don't realize this, all of my staff are industry professionals that have come back to teach. They were never trained as teachers. So my biggest job is to teach them how to relate to students, how to do lesson plans, how to plan where you want to get to. They all know that. They are the experts. We walk into construction class. I'm not an expert in construction. my construction teacher is. I'm the expert in how to relate to the kids and get the kids to understand what you want to teach them, how to get them motivated, those type of things. So that's my big job now. So that's why I said, she was right. This is a good job for me because I'm still a coach. And I've always felt like I was a coach. I have the title of principal, but that doesn't mean much. Our whole school has to work together for the benefit of all of our students. So there's a lot of things I'm proud of, but mainly, like I said, it's our students. Our students are awesome. You hear a lot of bad things about high school students nowadays, a lot of bad things going in the community. We have very little of that at Woodruff. Our kids are there, they're there for a specific purpose, and they're willing and work hard to learn and have those opportunities once they get out of high school. There are tremendous kids in this district. We have tremendous students at all 3 high schools. Unfortunately, we only hear mostly about the 2 or 3% that always show up in the wrong places. But the 97, 98% of the students in our school district are awesome, and I get to see most of them through Woodruff. So I'm real proud of that too. I like bragging about our students, so that's why I really appreciate you guys inviting me to talk today. We work with, well, over the last 5 years, we worked with over 135 different industry partners throughout the Peoria area, helping our kids get internships, doing practicums with our CNA students, and everything else. City of Peoria we worked with IT, with some of our internships and everything else. So I can't name them all because I don't know them all off the top of my head. I'm sorry about that. But it's tremendous on how people find out about us, how our kids interact with them, and spread word of mouth where we get more and more people willing to work with us each year. Mr. Bricks is our main work-based learning instructor. He started out right down the street here at Perfect as the work-based learning instructor. Dr. Karat said, we're going to do that ourselves in our building. He did a great job building up that program for the last 10 years, and then we expanded it. Like I said, it started with construction work-based learning. It was expanded to the auto bodies, CNA, culinary arts. Oh, I should brag on culinary arts, I guess. In case you guys hadn't heard, they just won the Pro Start State Championship for the 10th year in a row. Yeah, they're pretty proud of that. They just got back from Baltimore, as a matter of fact. They flew back, well, they're supposed to fly back Monday, but their flight got delayed. They just got back Tuesday from Baltimore. 4 of our students and our instructors got to go out there and compete nationally at the Pro Start Management competition. We just had 9 students last weekend compete at Skills USA that qualified for nationals in Atlanta. So they will be going to Atlanta to compete nationally here in the middle of June. So like I said, that we don't have sports per se. We don't have state champion football teams, baseball teams, basketball teams, but we do have state champions in CTE programs. At the Civic Center last week, if any of you happen to be down there and know about it, Skills USA had the state competition. And like I said, 9 of our students are 1 of our barbering students, and then 3 in, well, 2 in video production made it, 3 in health careers made it, 2 in presentations, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm forgetting 3. I forget, oh, the other 3 were performing demonstration and performance, where they have to present a skill and explain to the judges what they're presenting to the skill, and then they got chosen to win as a team of 3. So like I said, it's a lot of different things going on at Woodruff, and I'm proud to be the person that's the spokesperson for all the wonderful things our kids and our teachers do. If there's anything else you'd like to ask, or you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer at this time.
Careful. Do students start there as freshmen, or do they transfer in later?
Oh, great question. Okay, I guess I didn't speak to that. I apologize. We mainly have juniors and seniors. Due to graduation requirements, most students can't fit Woodruff into their schedule until their junior or senior year. Our classes are 3 periods long. So you're either in our building 2nd, 3rd, and 4th hour, or you're in our building 5th, 6th, and 7th hour, because our CTE classes are 3 periods long. Now, they do get 1.5 credits per semester, so 3 credits a year to keep them on track to graduate, but they're elective credits. So they have to get all their state requirements done first. So most of the time, we don't get them until they're juniors. Every so often, we do get some as sophomores, but most of the time, it's juniors and seniors in our building.
I want to say thank you. This year, I had the pleasure of operating in the Amazing Shake that you guys
Oh, yeah.
had,
Yeah,
and I think that's wonderful. If you guys have an opportunity to volunteer and do it next year, you absolutely should. But it was younger kids, and so what's the impact of bringing them in younger, and can you kind of speak on that and what kind of impact the Amazing Shake has?
The Amazing Shake was actually run throughout the district office. We were just lucky enough to be the host of that. So that was a great experience. I was actually at a conference in Tennessee at the time, so I actually wasn't in the building when that went on. But the Amazing Shake, it's just a good opportunity for younger students to learn those soft skills. You know, how to look somebody in the eye, how to shake a hand firmly, you know, how to talk about, carry on a conversation, you know, start that up. Dr. Cohen would do a whole lot better job explaining this than I would, but like I said, they started that down, they got it from Atlanta, Ron Clark in Atlanta. A bunch of our teachers go there each year to his academy, and when they came back, they brought that with them. And actually, all of those props and everything came from Ron Clark Academy. He sent those up so that we could use them for our first year of doing the Amazing Shake. So like I said, you are right, it was an amazing event. I was there for all the setup, I just missed the event because I was at a conference. But the impact of getting kids at an earlier age, like Career Spark, you know, where all the 8th graders go down to the convention center. Those type of things are great because it gives kids options and let them know what they might want to do. It gives them an idea or a spark like, hey, that interests me. Maybe I'll go that field. And anything that can keep a kid interested and going to school and keeping them in school is great. Does that answer your question? I hope so.
I was so impressed by so many of them there. It was really a rewarding day, so.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you.
She says it's my turn now.
Okay.
Thanks you so much for speaking today. This program makes so much sense. How did it get approved? It's just I'm just talking off the top of my head.
Honestly, Woodruff closed, I think, in 2010, and then it reopened shortly afterwards as a career and technical center, and it started with, I think, just 2 programs, culinary arts and cosmetology. They added in construction, so those are the 3 main programs that they started with back, I think, in 2011, 2012. And then from there, it's the principals before me started adding programs, and when I got there, I add programs. The way we add programs is we find out what kids are interested in. They do school surveys like School Links, Zello, stuff like that. We currently use School Links. And then we match that up with what the community needs. So this is our 2nd year with HVAC. We had a lot of kids interested in HVAC. There was a big need in the community based on data I get for economic development from ICC and other things like that. So we started an HVAC program. So it's a combination. We got to have student interest, and we're trying to keep kids in the community. So we try and find businesses in the community that need our students to try and help them get full-time jobs or good wages to help support themselves and their families.
I would bet that your students aren't the ones shooting each other because they have purpose. Can they get paid? Is there a way for them to be paid for these internships? Thank you.
Right now, yes. We have called an Illinois Youth Improvement Program. It's an IIP grant. We call it IIP grant. And our interns are paid, but that's a competitive grant. So we have to rewrite for that each year. They have not been awarded yet for next year, so I don't know if we'll have that available next year. But this year we did have the IIP grant, and in the past few years we've had it. So our students do get paid internships. Through that grant, we pay them $16 an hour. Now some of the students, like our CNAs, CNAs make more than that. So some of the places that they get hired on internships will pay the first 16, and then like OSF or other companies will pick up the other amount to get them up to that, whatever the CNA salary is at that particular place. But yeah, so that's really grant dependent on our part if our kids get paid. Now, if the employers want to hire them and pay them, like a lot of our culinary kids do get offered jobs and they work and they get paid in restaurants and stuff in the community. But I'd love to say, yes, we're gonna pay them every year, but that's not something that our budget or the school district's budget can handle. But if we continue to get the grants, yes, we will continue to have paid internships.
So thank you for coming today. Do all of your students still attend their main high school?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do the students find out about your program? Is it obviously from their high school?
Mhm.
So do you fall under District 150 or how are you
Yes.
funded?
Yes, all right. We are part of Peoria Public Schools. And yes, all the students in our building graduate from their primary high school. So they get a Richwoods, a Manual, or a Peoria High diploma. They play sports at those schools. They go to the dances, proms, homecomings. They can be in any club, any activity in those schools. They have to go to their primary high school first hour. If they're in our building second, third, and fourth hour, they get bussed over, they get their own transportation to our building. So they're with us for 3 hours. Then they go back to their primary high school for the rest of the day. Or if they're in our second block, which is mainly seniors because we try and get them into the workforce, they're at their primary high school the first 4 hours. Then they come to us for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Like all our Auto Body 2, our work-based learning students, and our CNAs are all second block students so that at noon they can go to work. Technically, they got to work 2 hours a day to get high school credit, but most businesses don't want someone for just 2 hours a day. So they usually go 4 hours a day. Most of them work like 12 to 4 or 12:30, 4:30, something like that with whatever company. Like I said, it started with construction. So having a guy on a construction site for just 2 hours a day didn't work. So we set it up so they could be there longer. Now we would pay them for all 4 hours through our grants. But like I said, just 2 hours a day wasn't worth it for a lot of our industry partners. So we set it up that way. The other question you asked is, how do we let kids know about our program? Well, we start mainly with 8th graders. We have a career expo. We just did this 2 weeks ago, where we bring all the 8th graders into our building and we have booths set up like a career fair. And the kids rotate around and get to hear about each of the different programs we offer at Woodruff. So we start that as 8th graders. And as freshmen, we give them a survey and say, what programs are you interested in? And we bring them on a field trip. So we bring the kids in a field trip. And we do that in the spring as well. So the field trips were about a week before the 8th graders came in. So all the 9th graders get to come in our building. I get to talk to them a little bit. And then they get to go sit through classes with all the juniors and seniors. They get to hear from the teachers. They get to see what the things are doing in there. We bring them in second semester because we have a lot more projects done that time of year. So they get to see some of the projects the students worked on during the school year. And then as sophomores, we do it in the fall right before they register for classes. Because as a sophomore, you're registering for your junior level classes where you can actually be a student at Woodruff. So we do those field trips in the fall. And we try and narrow in specifically on what they might be interested in and want to come to. So that's how we do our field trips and recruitment. Now, also in the fall, I and about 4 or 5 staff members go to each individual high school and give presentations to the sophomores and the juniors. So usually second hour, we talk to the sophomores, and then usually third hour, we talk to the juniors. And we tell them about our different programs and everything else. And obviously, we have a website that has all of our programs and has little videos there talking about what different things you learn in those programs and stuff like that. There's salaries on there too, but those are so out of date that I don't talk about those anymore. But when we first made the videos, there were salaries in there as well. You can make this much. Those are all way low now. So those are a lot of things we do to try and make sure our students throughout the district are aware of what Woodruff has to offer for them and give them those opportunities.
Is there a wait list for any of the programs?
Great question. There is now. When I got there, no. But this year we had to interview for culinary arts. We had to interview for work-based learning. We had to interview for auto body. We had to interview for barbering. All those programs could only have so many kids in them because I only have one instructor type deal and we can run 20 kids a block. So we had 69 kids want to sign up for culinary where I can take 40. We had 59 kids sign up for barbering where I can take 40. I actually got 51 signed up for HVAC right now and I can only take 40, but we're gonna wait on that one. We didn't interview those kids. We're waiting to see how many kids come back after summer, how many schedules can actually make it work out and everything else like that. So, but yeah, a lot of our programs now, we got more kids in them than we have spaces available. And we just had to start that. This was the second year of interviews we had to do. So like I said, that was one of my goals, going to Woodruff, no longer be a secret. I want everybody to know about it, which is great. But now unfortunately, I gotta tell some kids, sorry, we don't have enough slots. So it's a positive. A lot of kids are interested, they know about it. There's a negative side of it too. Unfortunately, we just can't house or help all the students who are interested in some of those programs.
I have a question. So I know you work with a lot of community partners, but how do you get additional support for your programs, like the people who need their hair cut, or taste testers for your culinary, or phlebotomy? How do you get those participants?
Well, I'll do a little plug for our cafes. Starting around Halloween and going to about the end of April, usually 2 Thursdays a month, our culinary students run a cafe out of our school. So it starts usually at 11 a.m. and it runs to about 1:30. The last 2 years, they've charged $8 a meal. It's a 3-course meal. And our kids do all the work. They prepare all the food, they are the servers, they are the hostess, they are the line people, and they just rotate front of the house, back of the house. The kids learn all the different skills necessary to run a restaurant. And our culinary teachers do an outstanding job in training our kids and teaching our kids in those different skills and stuff like that. So that's one way that, obviously that money goes back into the school district, which probably goes back, once they give it to them, but it probably goes back into the culinary arts program to help pay for the food and everything else like that. The other thing, well, Kat was fortunate enough to work with a company called Fab Lab Fabrications. We were granted one of the sites, so we are currently working on getting a Fab Lab at Woodruff, which will, Kat is a big time donator to this. So we're gonna, hopefully, our goal is open it up in October. Hopefully by next year at this time, have it set up and all the procedures in place where our students and also community partners can come in and use it. And obviously there's gonna be some type of way where we're gonna have to, taxpayer dollars can't buy all the materials for all the outside businesses coming in to use the materials. So we're gonna have to figure out, it's a lot of the process we're still working on, don't have all the answers yet. But there will be some type of way where we're gonna try and make that self-sustainable with outside partners and everything else. So like the distillery labs and the Bradley Innovation Labs and stuff like that, working with people like that. You have a great idea, you thought it up, come to our place, we'll help you try and fabricate it. So that's our goal, as far as the community goes. And then what programs, that's the other thing, what programs can I now offer to our students? What new certifications can I now offer to our students with this Fab Lab to make them more marketable as well?
Yeah, how much of the space at Woodruff do you occupy? The entire building? It's a good-sized building, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is. Well, I just walked around with a board member the other day. She's one of our new board members. She wanted to see the school. The whole school basically is being used except for maybe 4 classrooms. All 3 floors, everything else. Now, with that being said, we have Head Start in the building. They take up 3 classrooms. That's 3 to 5-year-olds. We have Leska Hinton Purple Village in our building, which takes up basically the entire 2nd floor. And then my CTE programs take up the 1st floor and the 3rd floor. So basically, almost the entire building is being used. We do have a couple classrooms that aren't being used at the moment, but for the most part, our entire building is being used, the academic side. Now the athletic side, we don't have PE and stuff like that, but AJ is our district junior high athletic director, and he runs all the middle school tournaments and stuff through our building. So all the city tournaments, basketball, girls, boys, volleyball, all that stuff are all run through Woodruff as well. So our gym is being used through the middle school athletics, but not high school. So our whole building's being used, but different parts. And then, like I said, the Amazing Shake, we do things like that in our building. Head Start, not Head Start, Leska Hinton has some big book reading thing tonight going on in our building. A lot of SIP days where the district comes in and uses it with certain groups, like next Wednesday, kindergarten teachers and math teachers are gonna be in our building getting training. So it's constantly being used on a daily basis and weekends, nights, and everything else.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to come talk to you guys. I greatly appreciate it. And feel free at any time you want, come down to our cafe. Our students would love to serve you.